We would like to say welcome to a brief video about our Oklahoma 4-H ATV Safety program. So I'd like to introduce my teaching partner today is Cami Witt. Cami is a past 4-H'er that just graduated and attending Oklahoma State University, and she was very active in our 4-H ATV contest and our ATV program teaching our 4-H'ers across the state. My name is Aaron Henson. I'm the Ag Extension 4-H educator in Tillman County. I'm an ASI certified 4-H ATV instructor. So with that today, we're going to go over a few of our safety points and our safety gear that what we need to have to ride ATVs. So first off, we're going to start out with our from our ground up. So from our ground up, what we want to start out with some sort of safety boots. And so Cami's demonstrating her safety boots and her riding boots that she has now. These are a full-blown ATV riding boot. Not necessarily what we would require in this sense. At the same time, Cami, pick up your tennis shoe there. So what this demonstrates is what we don't want. We don't have any support, any ankle support, any sole support, any toe support. And we also have shoestrings. Shoestrings can get tied up in our chains and different things and pull our foot off our foot pegs and underneath there, and so they become very unsafe. So from that, we're going to go to our second one is our pants. And so we want long pants. Cami has some riding pants on us, some other riding pants on our table there. And the great thing about riding pants, they run some cushion in them, some soft for grip and ATV riding, active riding all day long. But any type of long pants works. A pair of blue jeans or anything else to protect our legs from the heat of the motor and the elements we may be riding in. The next one is a long sleeve shirt. Cami's got her jersey on, as well as some on the table. But any sort of long sleeve that would protect our sleeves and our body from the elements and outside elements as we're riding ATVs. Next, we're going to have our helmet. We have a lot of different helmets in ATV world. We have a lot that has different things. One of the things that we want in a helmet is the back of it. It says DOT, and as I zoom in here, it says DOT, and DOT stands for what, Cami?
Department of Transportation.
Yeah, the Department of Transportation has deemed this helmet to be safe for ATV riding. So there's a lot of different kind of helmets out there in the world, and there's from BMX, bicycle helmets, and those things. Those helmets are not weighted, not cushioned properly to safely protect you from an ATV like this in order to, if it was to fall on you, or protect you from that angle of speeds and those things. Bicycle helmets are made to protect you from bicycles. ATV helmets are made to protect you from ATVs. So what's next, Cami?
Eye protection.
Eye protection. We need eye protection for a lot of different things. But most importantly, is to protect our eyes so we can see. If we can't see, how can we operate the ATV safely? All right, what's next?
To protect your hands and gloves.
Some gloves to protect our hands and our elements. And we use gloves with a lot of different things. Playing football, swinging a baseball, softball bat. That helps us with grip. And the same thing in our ATV active riding. It helps us hang on to the handlebars and control the ATV in a safe manner. Okay, so at this time I'm going to show you some of the safety features on ATVs and what it has from every aspect. So one of the great things about ATVs, they tell us what we can and can't do. And so every ATV is equipped by these features, whether it be a Honda, Yamaha, Polaris, or any other manufacturer. So it says on here, the green circle tells us what we can do, obviously, and it's the safety gear that we've already discussed. The next three are things that we don't want to do, and so that's the reason they're in a red circle with a line through them. ATVs are made for an all-terrain vehicle. So they're made for dirt, sand, grass, mud, and those type of things. Not made for highways. They run a low-pressure tire, so that they're not going to grip the highway correctly as you would in a vehicle. The next is a two-passenger. This ATV is not equipped for two passengers, even though we may see that from time to time in a lot of various settings that we see two different people riding ATVs similar to this one. Even though it's not designed for that. It doesn't have the special seating or the suspension to monitor and control this properly. So when you put someone behind you in this situation, you throw off their weight and balance of the ATV. The next one is drugs and alcohol, and of course we don't ever use any of those type of things, and so that's something that we wouldn't want to use while we're operating an ATV also. The next thing would be on the other side of the ATV, and typically most of them are the same as far as size and goes, is we get into the age requirement. Every ATV has an age requirement. This age requirement in this one is under the age of 16. So what it says from that is this ATV is not suitable for someone under the age of 16 because the weight, the class of this ATV, the speed it can be able to be handled properly. It takes somebody in the size and maturity of that age of a 16-year-old or up. Another few things about an ATV that I want to point out, and every manufacturer is the same, is, and a lot of people doesn't realize this, but in order to kill an ATV, and a lot of times in a situation that we was to get in a bind and need some sort of control in a quick manner, is every ATV has a red switch on your left thumb. And they're made that way for that reason. So if I had to take my hand off and turn the ignition off to kill it because I got into a situation that was unsafe, then I lose control of that ATV with not both hands on the handlebars. That's the reason every ATV has a red switch on your left thumb. And they're made that way for that reason. So if I had to take my hand off and turn the ignition off to kill it because I got into a situation that was unsafe, then I lose control of that ATV with not both hands on the handlebars. That's the reason every ATV has a red kill switch, so that you can kill with your left thumb and be able to keep your hands in controlling an ATV. So the other thing I like to point out to our kids as we're going through the classes are some of the things like how to stop and how to stop properly. So every ATV in most cases will have a left rear hand brake and a parking brake. On the right side you have a right front brake, and on the right foot side you have a right foot brake. And that's a rear brake as well. So the best thing to do as in stopping on ATVs is using all three brakes and the front and rear brakes, so you stop equally and you don't slide or lose any control. So at this time I'm going to ask Cammie to come back up here, and Cammie's going to demonstrate a few riding practices we like to teach in our 4-H ATV program. So and just a brief overview of a few of the things that we like to do is we like to teach proper handling of ATV, not in a safe manner. So Cammie's going to demonstrate a left turn, and as Cammie turns to the left, what she does is she moves her body to the inside of the turn as she's turning left, turns her handlebars, and then also she looks up into where she's going. She's not looking down at her tires the way, watching them go round and round. She's looking into the curve, into the corner that she's going into, where she's going, where other debris, other riders may be, and those type of things. And the same thing when she turns right, she'll lean into the corner. She's looking at where she's going around the right hand of that corner and going right. The other thing I like to point out is going up a hill, and hills are common in Oklahoma. So as we go up, we want to lean forward so the front end of the ATV doesn't come up and rear up and come back over top of us. Similar, going down a hill, it's just the opposite. What you want to do is you want to lean backwards so the rear end of the ATV doesn't come up. So that's a brief overview of our ATV safety program that Oklahoma 4-H does. So my name is Aaron Henson. I'm the extension educator in Tillman County, and Cammie Witt, I'm one of our former 4-Hers and co-teacher of the ATV safety program. We'd like to say thank you for watching our video and participating in our video, and we hope that you ride safely.